All right. We are recording. Okay, good. Hi, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Mastery, and today we are going over Shopify eCom Sellers Mastery, the 8-week series. This is session 3, and we're so glad that you're here. I apologize for the delay. We had some technical challenges, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to do is, before we get into today's session, I want to know if you had a chance to watch last week's session. If you've already gained access to the Facebook group and or the membership site, the recording is uploaded on, and so it's been available for a while. Hopefully you had a chance to go back and watch it. So we're going to go over a couple of things from last week. So the first thing was to give you guys an instruction to go and check out your competitor stores. So we talked through in the first session and the second session about figuring out what your business model is going to be, figuring out what products you think you want to sell, what the name of your store is going to be, that kind of stuff. So hopefully you had a chance to go look for or go through a couple of sites. Even if you couldn't find a competitor, maybe there was another site that you wanted to get some ideas from. The second was to set up your Shopify store. Hopefully you had a chance to do that. We gave you some ideas on, getting a Google Voice phone number, so then that way you don't have to give your own personal one if you don't want to. We also talked about address, using an alternate address. And we also suggested that you buy your domain. So did you get a chance to buy your domain? And what color scheme or what's your brand for your store? So picking out a color scheme or putting together a branding kit. And did you get a chance to create a logo? Hopefully you had a chance to do all that. That's going to be vitally important as we start to put this store together. And then we also suggested that you at least acquire your social media assets and park them for now. Parking them meaning you don't have to go and set everything up. You just want to you want to go ahead and create accounts for whatever the name of your store is. So if your name of your store is Tony and Nick's Sensory Toys, which is my son's, so Tony and Nick's Sensory Toys, then I want to go and create, or TN Sensory Toys, you can go and create a Facebook page and a business page with that, in addition to, setting up your Instagram account with TN Sensory Toys. So then that way, when you're ready to launch your store, you own all of the social media assets. And you don't have to launch all the social media assets at the same time. You just make sure that you have them. So if you didn't do all of this, then we want you definitely to get caught up. So what questions do you have from last week's session? And you can go ahead and type those in the chat, whatever your questions are. Do we have any questions from last week? And I'll come back and look through those. So again, last week we went through setting up your store, defining your store, looking at the Shopify themes. Did you choose a theme last week? That was another question. In addition to that, we looked at the menu, the features, and we talked through domains and social media assets. So tonight we're going to talk through your numbers and the math. We're going to talk through some sourcing strategies. We're going to walk through, we're going to look at print on demand and what are some of your options there. And then we're going to add a product to your store. We're going to talk about listing optimization. We're going to talk about free apps and paid apps. So let's go through it. Okay, so typically when you're talking about a Shopify store, they don't like to refer to what the numbers might be per item, because you could be selling a variety of items. If you have a pet store, you might be selling, or pet toys, if you might be selling Christmas pet toys and Halloween pet toys and our pet costumes and Christmas pet costumes, and you might be selling something for Valentine's Day. And so the profit margins on each one of those are different. But your goal overall is to be profitable in your store. So when you're looking at products to potentially sell, you want to make sure you're paying attention to what your potential profit margin is going to be on those particular products. And then you want to have an idea in mind. It can be a ballpark figure. So if you're trying to get to roughly, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 over the next 90 days, which is Q4, in profit, then you would want to have daily sales of no less than $22 or $44 or $66. That will get you to, by the end of the 90-day period, your target numbers, whatever your target numbers are. So if your target number is $22 a day, then you want to sell 5 items with a profit margin of at least $4.44. If you have a lot of sales, that's amazing. That's awesome. And we're happy for you. So if you have a lot of sales, let's say you have 75 sales in a day, all you needed to do was just have a profit margin at least of 30 cents. So that's not a lot. But again, we always want to go for the higher numbers, just keeping that in mind, long-term, bigger picture. Same thing that if you're trying to get to $6,000 over 90 days, again, your profit margin, you want to be at least $13.33 for selling 5 items, okay? And so that's how you get to that every single day. 5 times 13.33 is going to get you close to $6.67. And again, if you're selling a lot of volume, let's say you're selling 1,000 a day, that's a different number. But if you have a goal that you're trying to get to over 90 days, that's what you want to sort of look at, high level. Now, if you are saying, okay, I would like to have a Shopify store that's profitable, and I'd like to at least make $2,000 a month, or $4,000 a month, or $6,000 a month, then your numbers change, of course. So over a 30-day period, you would need to sell at least every single day $66.67. And again, every single one of your products is going to be different depending on if you're selling a specific niche, or if you're going to have a general store. So your profit for each product, again, is going to be different. So your goal is to try and make sure that when you're sourcing for products, that you're looking for profitable products that are going to help you get to some level of an average profit. And we're going to talk about what that profit calculation is. Again, if you're trying to get to $4,000 a month in profit, then you need to have an average profit of selling 5 items with a profit of $26.67 every single day. Again, the more items you sell, the lower the profit margin you need to have, or profit per day, if you have a lot of volume. And then if you're trying to get to $6,000 a month in profit, then you'd have to sell 5 items a day at $40 to get to $200 a day, every single day. So again, just trying to give you some ballpark, but again, we just want to focus on making sure that we're sourcing products where we have the opportunity to make some money. So when you're calculating your profit margin, of course, your profit is going to be, the revenue minus the cost. And to get into some more details about that, the cost of goods sold, and we're going to talk briefly about the cost of goods sold, minus the shipping costs, minus your ad costs, minus your processing fees, minus your custom spend. That's really your true profit margin. And so your revenue calculation is the gross sales minus discounts, minus the return, tax, shipping charges. So again, factoring in everything, some of these numbers you're not going to have when you're actually doing sourcing. So your goal is to try and find products where when you do the estimated shipping, including the cost of acquiring the product, including what you're going to list it for, that's going to get you, and you know that you're going to have some estimated marketing costs. That estimated marketing cost is up to you. So, if you want to put at least $1 or $2 in marketing costs as a buffer, at a minimum $1, then that way you can add that in and start doing the subtraction to try and get to what your profit goal might be for a particular item. And over time, as you create more ads, then you'll be able to estimate that cost a little better. So again, the cost of goods sold, that particular calculation, you divide that by the company's revenue, and the cost of goods sold is divided by the revenue, and it becomes a percentage. So down here, the total revenue, which is your revenue cost, minus the cost of goods sold is your total revenue. It becomes a percentage. And your goal is to try and get that, get a good profit margin. So here, the higher the profit margin, then the more profitable your store is. The lower the profit margin, the less profitable your store is. And so if your profit margin's up in the 40s, that's good. 50s, that's good. If your profit margin's down in the 20s or the 10, or even like 10 or 15 or 20, that's lower. So you don't have a lot of wiggle room. If your ad spend goes up or if you have a lot of returns, you just don't have a lot of wiggle room. So your goal is to try and keep your profit margin a little higher. So always try to factor in maybe an estimated shipping cost. You will never be able to get that direct number. And then an estimated ad spend. How much money are you willing to invest in ads and for how long? And we're going to talk about ads next week. And then I talk a little bit more about the cost of goods sold. So the thing that you need to know is it's going to be an estimated number. It's never going to be perfect. And shipping is going to be an estimated number. It's never going to be perfect. And the assumption is that if you're using like AliExpress, that we're going to be using the e-packet for delivery in the US. And there's some other things you need to factor in, but the biggest thing is that, estimating that cost. And then there are apps that you can use to help try and sync up automatically your cost of goods sold in real time, get that calculation so that way you can get a more solid number, because you're always going to have an estimated number or it's not going to be a solid number. The biggest thing that you need to know is at the end of each month, you really should be working to reconcile your numbers. That's the biggest part of this, so that way you can at least have some estimates going into each one of the months, or you can try and reconcile some of your numbers based on your sales for the week. So then that way you're always keeping track of your numbers. Your ad spend, again, that's the money that you're spending to acquire that customer. So how much did you spend in Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, whatever, to try and get that customer to buy your product, okay? And then your processing fees, again, you're going to have fees no matter what. It doesn't matter who you use, PayPal, Stripe, Shopify, there's going to be a fee. And so you want to, back here, when we talked about, processing fees, you want to make sure you're subtracting everything that's part of this calculation in order to get to your real profit numbers. And then last but not least, your custom spend is for any additional like software. If you're paying influencers, maybe this is a particular time that you're actually going to be paying influencers to help market your particular item, if it's makeup, if it's hair, whatever, then maybe there's a lump sum that you're putting out there for them. And don't overlook, like if you have employees that are doing work for you, don't overlook those costs so you can really get to your true numbers of, am I profitable or not? And I think sometimes we overlook the fact that there are a lot of fees or expenses that we're not counting in that total number to figure out if we're profitable or not. So keep all of that in mind. Now, from a calculator standpoint, like there's Oberlo and Shopify, they do have some profit margin calculators, but again, you need to make sure you're including as many of the numbers as possible in order to get to some good, a good value. So, or a good estimated value. And you don't want to, I'm going to give you an example. You don't want to be running ads and running them for like, 2 and 3 weeks, and you spend more in ads than you could potentially recoup and profit. So you're negative. So you really need to be paying close attention to the numbers in the early onset of, starting your ad spend. After you get your store up, starting your ad spend, because there may be something you need to tweak. So we'll talk a little bit about more about that next week. So I'm going to share these 2 links. Let me go back and I gotta escape. These 2 links in the chat so that you can have them for your own reference. Hopefully that's what you. Oops. There we go. This Shopify resource and templates under the dashboard right now is empty. Yes, it's all of the stuff under the dashboard is empty right now. You're talking about the membership side? Yes, it's all empty right now. Nothing's been populated in there yet. Okay, so the next thing is just talking about a couple quick ways in which you can help increase your profit margin. So you can reduce your operating expenses. So I don't recommend when you're first starting any business, or if you're first starting your Shopify store, that you outsource to a VA and you don't have the capital to be able to do that, or you're not finding products that you have the opportunity to make some kind of money on them. Like, make sure that you're doing enough research. So reducing your operating expenses, don't be obsessed over per order profits. At the beginning, I gave you the per order profits, I did. But again, you're looking for a ballpark figure. So, if your goal is, I would like to at least get 10 sales today, 5 sales today, at least shoot for trying to get at least sales transactions every single day. Increase your trustworthiness of your store, the general sales. There's a lot of different things that you can do to the store to try and help you make your store look more legit, because most people are concerned about buying things online. They're afraid of being taken. They're afraid of losing money. So if your store looks absolutely brand new, the chances of somebody buying something from you is going to be limited. Increase your average order value. We briefly talked about some of that. So some things that you could potentially do to increase your order value might be, add a little something extra. So if you're selling a planner, include a pin. If you're selling doggy costumes for Christmas, then include like a doggy treat, something like that. Create a customer loyalty program. We won't get into customer loyalty in this particular session. Well, we might towards the end, but a customer loyalty program where you can offer special discounts and things like that is great. And then raising your price. Of course, raising your price is always going to increase your profitability. Okay, so we're going to talk about sourcing. So we briefly talked about sourcing in session 1, and we're going to go into a couple of these sourcing options. So where can I buy inventory? Where can I source? I've decided on what my store is going to be. I have an idea of what I want to sell. Where can I go to research what's available to me? So you have a few options. You can go out to AliExpress and Alibaba. You can go to DHK. You can go look at those, and you can acquire, that inventory. Now, I will tell you, if you're going to order from AliExpress, there's going to be some things you want to look for. And you're going to use e-packet, same thing with Alibaba. And you want to make sure that it is a vendor that has good ratings, has had a lot of transactions, so that you don't get caught up in selling something that you're going to have a lot of returns on. The other thing is, early in the process, if you're new to this, we always encourage you to try and get samples. Always consider getting samples before you actually just start ordering. I think that is something that people just shoot out the gate. And so if you go on YouTube, that's the first thing they'll tell you to do, is just, okay, and then set up your store and look for this, and then they just start selling stuff. And then if they start to find out that something changed with the quality of the product or whatever, and they don't have any samples, they got nothing to fall on. So, if you have time, get some samples. And with ePacket, I think it takes like anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks to get that in. So again, consider doing that. In addition to that, there are other ways in which you can do research for sourcing. To populate your store, one of the great ways to populate your store, instead of doing it manually. So again, if you have a supplier already, if you've already established, you have a manufacturer, or vendor, or distributor relationship, or a wholesale account, and you've worked things out, you've already gotten approval to use their pictures, so you can just import their catalog, that's great. Do that. But if you don't, and you don't know, you don't want to sit there and manually do list every single product, then there's tools like Herberlo or Shopify. Those are ways in which you can populate your store with products very quickly, and you can do research on their sites for products. Then you have print on demand. Print on demand is a great way to get started when you have very little money to start with. So, you have your Shopify account membership, which Hopefully you guys started the 14-day trial. If you didn't, you can start it today, and then you don't have your first payment for 14 days. You are going to have some money and make that available for marketing dollars. That's something you can't get away from unless you have an amazing domain name that's keyword rich and people are already looking for that particular product name or whatever that product item is. And so when they do a Google search, you automatically come up. So if you're lucky enough to do that, that's great. But you do want to make sure that, your products as you list them, you're using the keywords in there as well. So print on demand is a great way to get started when you have a little money. You're still, again, going to have money for ad spend. And then wholesale, again, hopefully, if you've been selling, you have some wholesale suppliers in your back pocket, and you would be doing what's called in-house fulfillment. So that's you fulfilling the order or using them as a dropship resource. And that's where, you get approval to use their catalog or for their different things, if they've got things. And maybe it's, Christmas slippers. And so they've got them in green and they've got them in red and they've got them in brown for Rudolph or whatever, or white for the snowman. Then, you've got their access to their catalog, the product description, all the pictures, all of that stuff. You can either do an upload or you can manually create those. So let's talk about a couple of these. So AliExpress, you can go ahead and sign up and join the AliExpress Dropshipper dashboard. And once you sign up, you'll be able to search products and be able to research different products and look at different things about the different suppliers over there. Then there's Ali Insider. They do have a free version and you can look up products. There's several different, product research tools that you can acquire. This is just a couple, so you can choose, you can go beyond looking at just these. You have Ali Extractor, again, another tool that you can use to do product research on AliExpress. Sell Trend, they've got a 7-day trial. Dropship Spy, and eCom Hunt, they have a free version as well. So let's go look at a couple of these real quick. And let me put this link in the group. Oh, we did the same one. Okay. Yeah, man, my computer. It's time to buy a new computer. Okay, so if you haven't already joined the AliExpress dropshipper, then go ahead and do that. So let's go pull up AliExpress. Okay, so once you log into AliExpress dropshipper, what you're going to see is this is the dropshipping center. If you log into regular AliExpress, I thought I had it still open, but I don't. Yeah, I don't. Okay, so just AliExpress. I think I have a screenshot of it. Okay, so this is regular AliExpress. And so when you log into regular AliExpress, this is what it looks like. And you can still do product research from here. So, they're going to have the rotation that goes across. You can look for different things and the way that you can research some products over here. So I'm going to look at pet toys. So if I look up pet toys, the things you want to pay attention to is you want to definitely pay attention to the ratings. You want to look at the number sold, and you want to see if they have e-packet available. So this particular toy they sold over 454. They've got a rating. This one has no rating, which again doesn't make sense to me, but they've sold 165. So the more that they've sold and the fact that you can see their rating, that's something you want to look at. You can click on, I'm just going to go ahead and choose the first one for grins and giggles. Okay. So they have completed over 222 orders. They have 101 reviews. And again, the higher the number of reviews, that's the better. And then you can go and see about anything else that this particular seller has sold. so that way you can get a good feel for whether or not this person is, someone that you want to potentially do business with. Okay. So their official store, this is their official store. Their store rating is 98.5. You can go visit the store, go see what other products that they have, and that will give you an idea. And the thing that I like about when you're doing the research over here, they're going to give you some great pictures. You can include any video you want if you want to import that, if if you're going to sell this product. So they've got some great, colorful, big pictures. And remember that people are buying, the majority of the time, they're buying things from their mobile device. So the bigger the picture, the more it takes up the real estate on the page, the better it's going to be for you. So if you go and see that this store, let's say this store's rating was, I don't know, 76%, then I'm probably just going to leave the page. I'm not going to go look at anything else that they're potentially selling, because evidently there's a lot of people who are not happy with them. Okay. And so if you're looking at this from just doing research on regular AliExpress, then, those are some of the things you want to look at. So you can go, and they've done a great job with taking really big, colorful pictures. So using this as a starting point to kind of do some research. Whereas if you go over to the AliExpress drop shipping center, and again, I put the link in the chat. So here's some information that you'll see. So if I do the same search from pet toys, and I'm looking for all products, okay, I can isolate it to ePacket is available. Okay. Also, as I look at it, I can see how many orders, drop shipping orders, their rating is 4.3. So 4.3, I don't feel really good about that. This one has sales performance of below average. So, you can analyze that further if you want to. This one says that it's good, but don't see a lot of transactions. So I want to see someone that has maybe more transactions. So I'm going to change it. Orders. Okay, so orders by US, now I'm seeing more orders, okay? And drop shipping, they 234. So the performance is below average, or sales performance is below average. So I might go and analyze that to see what's happening. Some of these down here, again, looking at the data, so you can go and pull up any of these. This is a silicone toy. So if I click on it, I can see that there's been 2,409 orders. I can see there's 263 reviews. They got a 4.5 on this particular toy. They've got a video that's associated with the toy. They've got pictures, different diagrams. So again, if I am selling toys, this might be one that I would consider. I would go in and I would factor in what the cost is going to be to me. I would go and do research on how long it's going to take them to ship. Again, going to the official store, seeing what the overall store rating is, how many people are following. These are things that you want to pay attention to when you're making a decision. So again, on class 1 and class 2, we told you to figure out what your niche is going to be, or what type of store you're going to have. And then once you figure that out, come do some research on AliExpress. This is one tool that you can definitely use to do research. Okay. Then another one that we talked about was Reverlo. So the great thing, let me go back over here. Oops. Oh, sorry, eCom Hunt. There it is. Okay. So eCom Hunt is another one that you can use, and they've got a free option to do research. So eCom Hunt, the great thing about it is you start up at the top, you can actually do research on the free version before you go into anything. So if we're looking at, let's say I change the category and I go to pets, because we were looking at pets on the other side. So pet products. Okay. So I can see some of the pet products, type of offer, retail, funnel, free plus shipping. Okay. So let's say I want to focus on curious about the funnel now. I didn't know funnel was an option. Nothing. Okay. Okay. So the retail price, you say, show me the money. So this is a portable water bowl. Okay. This might be interesting for the holidays. Okay. So this one, the selling price, we sold it for, the product cost is $10.77. The selling price that they recommend is $29.99. Their potential profit margin is 19.22 potential. I probably back some off of that number because that's just really close, too close to this, to the margins. But in any case, again, you're going to have, this is not factored in the cost of it to market it. It doesn't factor in any shipping. It's just your, what they're saying, profit. So again, you want to estimate those numbers in that to get to a real number. The number might be closer to like 16 or 13 or something like that. It says total stores selling this product is 14. So there are 14 stores selling this product. Again, they've got great pictures. So you can go through and you can look at the pictures. You see, the one thing I do like is that they're showing the product in use. So they show a dog drinking out of it, and they also show, you know, the openings to how you can fill it and all of that other stuff. So pictures that show something in use or that show the value of a product are always really, really good. And those can be pictures that you can import into your store, okay? Then the other thing about eCom Hunt is that they have the sell with Oberlo, which is, Oberlo is a great way to populate your store very quickly. So you can use Oberlo instead of manually adding the product to your store. You can use Oberlo and it will import all the pictures and the description, and you can go back and edit it. So that's the great thing about it. It just saves you a bunch of time. Okay, so eCom Hunt is one of those that you might want to take a look at. And from a doing product research and finding products that are on AliExpress, they're saving you some time. They have a paid version and a free version. So whatever tools you decide you want to use to do your product research, do that. So then the next, and this is, AliExpress. We had already looked at this page. This was the previous page, looking at the orders and the rating. And then you can click on the product and go do some deeper research. Okay, so then so you've got like a solution now to be able to do some level of product research. You've got to type in the keywords that people are looking for your specific product. We talked about some keyword research, keywords anywhere, based on whatever you're deciding to sell, whether it's pet stuff, whether it's hair, whether it's beauty, whether it's whatever, whether it's coffee mugs, whatever you're selling, go do some research to find out what the keywords are, and then go do a search on AliExpress for those particular products. And if you do it from a drop shipping dashboard, you'll be able to see those products that are available with ePacket. The next thing is, and ePacket is the fastest way to get your products here in the US. So just trust me when I say you want to write that down, search for those by ePacket. Then the next is print on demand. So we talked about print on demand and the fact that print on demand is a great way to get your store started without, both of them are without physical products. AliExpress, you clearly don't have physical products. Print on demand, you don't have physical products. So let's go look at a couple of print on demand stores. What I want you to know is that these are the print on demand stores that have an existing integration with Shopify. So that means that you can integrate with the items that are on their site into your Shopify store using a Shopify app. And then that way, when people purchase the item, the order will go directly to them to fulfill the order. So your job is to make sure you've got the pictures right on your page, and you've got to make sure that all of your setup is correct. But again, there's an app for each one of those. So let's go and look at Printful real quick. So Printful, I'm going to go look for. I didn't log into my account. All right, so I'm gonna design my own. I'm having so much fun today, trust me. Oh, let's just do t-shirts. Okay, so I know that I had something already up, and it could be because I got logged out. Yeah, I did. So I did have some with like some examples of Christmas shirts. So I'm just gonna do this. Christmas t-shirts. Okay. I'm just gonna go do images. So the thing about print on demand is like you see all these amazing designs, and there's some instructions that you need to know about if you decide you're going to do print on demand. All of these are all, this is Pinterest, but of course this is a um, clickable link for people to go buy this particular shirt if they like it. Um, Same thing, you see an Etsy store, it's a clickable link for you to go buy it on Etsy. So the great thing about Shopify is you can integrate your Etsy store, and you can also integrate Pinterest, and you can integrate a bunch of stuff. With print on demand, you can design it, and you can design it in the print on demand store, and then of course integrate it to your Shopify store. And the thing that you need to keep in mind when you're doing print on demand is that you need to make sure that if you're putting images on it, it is a royalty-free image. If it is an image of someone or something, if it is something that you designed, that's fine. You can actually have a VA do some of your, your font designs with just font, because these are just, this one is simple. It's just plain text, and then they've got the little mistletoe in the middle. So there's nothing exciting on there. But if this is a different picture and it's got a panda on it. So let's say this was actually a picture from Disney's Kung Fu Panda. I think it's Disney or DreamWorks, one or the other. If it was Kung Fu Panda, which is an actual a movie, then this picture, if they didn't get approval for it, then you can get into trouble. So the thing that you need to keep in mind for print on demand is when you are designing something, or if you're going to hire somebody to design something for you, or if you're going to create designs on your own, that you need to make sure that you're using royalty-free images. Don't use don't put Disney on there. Don't put Frozen. Don't put anything that's going to get you in trouble, Legos or anything like that. Don't use Baby Yoda. You'll get yourself in trouble. So if you come up with your own little sayings, you come up with your own images, that's the key. So here's a Christmas tree. Not going to get in trouble for designing anything with a Christmas tree, but again, you want to double check just to make sure there isn't any copyrights on this particular Christmas tree. Highly unlikely, but you never know. This one I think looks like the Grinch. So this is the Grinch, and they are actually using the text from the Grinch That Stole Christmas, and they have the hand of the Grinch. They don't have the full Grinch. And so they could, if somebody was looking for them, they could get in trouble because they're using the exact font, which is copyrighted by Dr. Seuss and whoever produced the movie and or the graphics or whatever. And so if you don't have approval to be able to sell that particular product, or you didn't get approval, it's trademarked or it's got a copyright on it, then you do not want to get yourself in trouble. So I would not do a t-shirt like this because I know that text is going to get me in trouble. It's the exact same font from the movie. Whereas again, something simple like this is not going to get me in trouble. So don't use any likeness. Don't use anything like from the movies that might cause you to get into trouble. So this one is Papa Elf. This is so cute. It's simple. You can tell this is superimposed on here, but this is simple. I'm highly unlikely that this one has any type of copyright infringement that they could get in trouble with, or that it's not gonna, that you'll get in trouble for using. So that's the thing about print on demand. If you decide you want to do it, there's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of print on demand stores. And print on demand is not just t-shirts. It can be coffee mugs, it can be bags, it can be socks, it can be tennis shoes, it could be seat covers, it can be pencils and pens and notebooks and notepads. It can be hats, it can be bottles, it can be all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of opportunity, especially for the holidays, for print on demand because people want stuff with family members' names on them, or they want to include family member pictures. And so if you decide that you want to do a custom store where you're doing print on demand, I don't know, socks, and you're putting family members' faces on it, because I know some of you have probably seen that's one of the latest crazes. It was last year as well, the print on demand socks, where you put the pets on there, or you put grandma and grandpa on there, or maybe this year everybody puts a face mask on there. But in any case, print on demand socks, something that people are interested in. So just make sure you don't use any copyrighted photos or anything that's going to get you in trouble. It's print on demand is not just, I just want you to know that it's not just limited to t-shirts. There's all kinds of products that you can actually use for print on demand. Okay. And then the next thing, going back to print on demand. So check out some of the stores. And if you decide you want to use that store, like Teespring's clearly got t-shirts. I don't know that I went to some of these. Okay. Okay, and then I also forgot like mouse pads, phone covers, that kind of stuff. So I knew there was something else that I wanted to mention. So they've got print on demand masks. I know a lot of people have been putting Ruth Bader Ginsburg masks. They've been creating those. They've got the ones that say vote on them. There's all kinds of masks. So look into if you are going to do print on demand, just know which ones are the integration partners and go and take a look, get your account set up with them, and then begin the process using their app to integrate your designs, your products that you design into your Shopify store. Okay. So then the next one, we kind of skipped. I don't know why print on demand was interjected in the middle of that. Should have been above. But anyway, Dropify. So Dropify is another tool like Arburlo. Both of them are great tools for you to use to import your products into your Shopify store. And the great thing about Arburlo and also Dropify is that you can use them to do product research, and you can use it to easily import your products into your store. So again, you've got the Shopify store option, the Shopify print on demand partners to integrate your print on demand products to your Shopify store. You've got Arburlo, which is another one. And then you also have Dropify. Arburlo does have a free version, I believe, of the products. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Yeah, they do have a free version. And Dropify has a paid version. Okay, so I will tell you they have the free version up to 500 products, unlimited orders every single month, plus you get the Chrome extension. And so when you find a product on AliExpress and you want to import it quickly, you want to create a little notepad so that you can save the URL for the specific product. So if I am choosing to import, over here, let's say I'm choosing this is the product I want to sell. I want to save this URL. And once I save this URL, when I install the Arburlo extension, you're going to see a little icon that comes up here. And we'll do this next week. You'll see a little icon that comes up, and we will literally begin the process of importing all of the images, all of the text, and bring all of that into our Shopify store for automatically. So, and we'll do a couple of products so you can see how that works. But Arburlo is a great and fast way to get started. Dropify also has the same functionality, but they also have products that are actually in the US. And so the one thing about Arburlo is that, you're pulling up listings that are on AliExpress. With Shopify, you're sourcing for products that are actually, some of them are actually in the US. That saves you a bunch of time. You're going to have different shipping, but at least it's not coming across the ocean, which means people can potentially get it earlier. And so Shopify is a great option to be able to do product research to find products. And then you can also use Shopify to do other product research. So Shopify pricing, they do have a free 14-day trial. Connected, you can get up to 15 products. You can do 50 product boards. And the other thing is that you can do white label with Shopify. Meaning if you decide that you want to sell, I don't know, supplements, if you want to sell a specific product, let's say they've got vitamin C supplements, and you can actually put your name brand on it. So you want to have brand store, and it is Becky's Supplements or whatever the name of your store happens to be. They have a product pool that you can use to actually put your name brand on those products and sell them in your Shopify store. So that's another thing. They have a lot of different options available to you. Okay. So when you set up your Burloop, you can do your product import. You're going to go ahead and, your Shopify store has to already exist. So you're going to connect it to your Shopify store, and then you're going to go do your product research, which we went over to AliExpress to go do our product research. And then your products will get imported because you'll see it'll look like a little green price tag thing at the bottom of your screen. That means that it's ready for you to import that particular item when you're on AliExpress into your specific Shopify store. Then you can go over to your Shopify store and edit the listing and change it. And it makes it so much easier versus just manually creating each one of your listings. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is, hold on. I think this is the one that's messed up. All right, so let me stop sharing for just a second. Let me try to log into Shopify again. Do we have any questions so far? All right. So we're going to go look at the store. We're going to go look at some apps. Okay. I think it's let me in now. Oh, come on. All right. It is not letting me in. Let me just a second. I'm sorry about this, guys. Trying to bring everything back up. I have to reset my password. Let's try this again. Reset the password. Okay, it finally let me in. All right, let's start this again. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go, so with your products, sorry, let me go back to products. When you're adding products to your store, there's a couple of things that you wanna keep in mind, specifically about your listing and when you manually add products to the store. So the first thing you wanna do is when you're going in, if you're going to manually add products, you need to make sure that your title, that you've done your keyword research. We provided the link to Keywords Everywhere. Another one that you could potentially use is Keyword Spy. You can do the hat trick of searching using basic Google or searching on Amazon or Walmart by just typing in the first couple of letters of the specific product. So then that way you can use that as an idea of what or how people might be searching for this particular item. So the example I'm going to give you is, let's just go do, I won't use bicycle because I used it earlier today. So I'll use a coffee cup. So we'll do something else. Okay, Amazon. And your goal is to find what are the words that people are looking for. And that research you should have already done when you collected your keywords for your niches. So and an example would be if I type in COF, the first thing that's coming up is, I have to move that out of the way. So when I just start typing in the first couple of letters, CO, people are searching for command hooks, command stripes, collagen, whatever. So the first 10 things that show up in bold are the top 10 things that people are searching on Amazon that start with CO. And as I go to the next letter, which is F, I see coffee grinder, coffee maker, pods. Coffee mug is one of the last things. Coffee K cups is like number 6, coffee creamer, coffee filters. So if you're planning on selling coffee cups, coffee mug is the word that people are searching. They're not searching coffee cups, they're searching coffee mug is the highest word that they're searching. If you decide that you're going to sell coffee, I don't know, beans, or like you're going to sell actual coffee. Coffee, of course, is up here, and then they've got coffee grinder and they've got coffee beans. So this gives you a hint of words that you need to include in your listing if you're going to sell coffee. Okay. If you are on Google and you're just doing a random search. So again, I'm just going to type in CO, then there you got Commander in Chief, I got color psychology. I know I was doing all this research. Let me just completely delete some of these. All right. Wow, I have a lot of CO words that I was searching. Yeah, okay. All right, so now I'm at CO. So I've got compare prices on Shopify, comfy shirts, cost, uh, cost plus pricing, competitive. So that's what people are looking for. If I type in F, coffee near me, coffee Dallas, coffee pricing, coffee nearby, coffee table, coffee nails, coffin nails. Ooh, coffin. Okay. So people are looking for, most of the time it says they're looking for coffee near me. So I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm not looking for that. But coffee pricing is something that they're looking for, coffee table. So as you're thinking about creating your store, one of the things you might do in one of the descriptions is like, okay, buy my coffee, because coffee pricing, like comparing coffee pricing, it's more cost effective to buy this coffee than to, go to Starbucks or something like that. You make your own, whatever your catch phrase is going to be when it comes to coffee. So this is what they're searching. And then if I go over to Walmart, again, same hat check works. So if I just start with COF, a little floater, sorry. So people are looking for just coffee, coffee maker, coffee table, coffee creamer, coffee filters, coffee grinder. So they're not looking for coffee mugs. So coffee mugs is high on Amazon. Coffee mugs is not high on Walmart, and it's not high on Google. So, I know most people start with Amazon as their searches or either Google as their searches. So find a happy medium if you're going to sell coffee mugs, if that's what you're selling. Find a happy medium on which words and make sure that they're somewhere in that title when you're creating the title. So then the next thing is in your description. Make sure that you have a good description or good bullets to put in here. If you're importing using Arburlo or you're using Shopify or some other tool to import the listings in, then come back and edit your listings and make sure that they have good detail in them. I would not, you could use Amazon as a source, as a starting point for maybe some ideas, but I would not copy the text directly 100% verbatim from Amazon. I would use it as a source. So you could go over to, if I was doing coffee mugs, so let's go do coffee mugs. And let's say I was selling a mug that was similar to something that was on this. I don't know what's here. I have absolutely no idea what's there. So that's what she said. Okay. So if I choose this one says, someone tell my wife I'm retired, non-functional. I get it. Hustler. That's cute. Okay. So if I start with this, I don't know what this is. In here is the description. So I could copy all this text, paste it into the description, and make sure that you edit it because you don't want it to be verbatim for Amazon. But again, the first listing, this is a hat trick as well, so you might want to make a note. When you're doing research, if you find something that's similar to what you want to sell or comparable to what you want to sell, and you find it on Amazon, then the one thing that you can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt, if it's the first thing that pops up in Amazon and it's not in the sponsored, so this is today's deals, and then this is sponsored right here. And the first one that shows up that's not in sponsored is this one. So that means that there are things about this particular product and or title and or description that people are really looking for. And so I can tell you that the description of this particular product is probably right spot on. So when I say spot on, meaning people are looking, whatever is in here, this is what some people are looking for. So there's something about, listen, says leak-proof lid. People are evidently looking for leak-proof lid, maybe. Linda Hand, easy to hold drinking. So it gives you really good descriptors. That's the kind of stuff that you want to make sure that's in your listing. How am I going to use this product? How is this product going to make my life better or simplify my life? Who is the person that typically would be buying this product? So an easy one-handed drinking. So maybe it's a person that's driving in a car all the time. And so a person that's driving in a car wants an easy one-handed drinking experience in the car. Okay. Fits most car cup holders. That's important. So again, a person in a car. So leak proof, again, someone that's possibly in a car or a vehicle, or maybe catching an Uber, who knows. Drinks stay hot for up to 9 hours. Okay. Like people who like to drink coffee all day, or they start drinking it and they got to put it down, go do something else, come back. Then again, something that's going to stay hot for a while, they're interested in those things. So when you are about to create your listing on Shopify, make sure you're going through and you're listing all the benefits of this particular product, all the things that make people want to buy this product, that make people interested in the particular product. Make sure that you have good pictures, big, full pictures, so that it's taking up the majority of the white space in the picture. And so there's not a lot of white space around it. So this one is probably like, this is a great example because this picture that looks like they trimmed it. But again, because of the fact that it's on a background that's white, it looks like there's a lot of white space. But the reality is they used it from top to bottom, all of the real estate. And then showing the product in use or having a video of the product in use is always a good thing. So they have a video here, and they're talking about that it's dishwasher safe. So I don't know if they put that in here, that it's dishwasher safe. Up, top rack dishwasher, safe lid, hand wash only in the body. So again, something that's helpful for people. That's what people want to know. How can I use this? How is this going to make my life better? How can it improve my life? Show it in use, grab a video. And so if you find all of that on Shopify, on AliExpress, when you're choosing a product, that's going to be beneficial to you to help you potentially sell the product. Okay. And the description, again, making sure that the thing that people are mainly looking for is in the first 3 to 5 words, whatever that happens to be. If the main thing that they are looking for a name brand, then put the name brand there. But if they are not looking for a name brand, and I'll give you an example. If people are looking for NFL, which you have to have licensing to be able to do that, but merchandise licensing certificate. Let's say they're looking for NFL shirts for the Giants, New York Giants. So I'm either going to start with New York Giants, or I'm going to start with NFL New York Giants in the title of whatever I'm about to sell, whether it's a shirt, a hat, socks, backpack, coffee mug, whatever. I'm going to start with that. If it is a ceramic flat iron, I don't care that it's a Remington or what other Conair or whoever it is. I don't care if it's Conair. I don't care if it's Remington. Nobody cares about that. They care about the fact that it's a ceramic flat iron. That's what they want. They're looking for a ceramic flat iron. So when it comes to coffee mugs, nobody cares really what the name of the coffee mug is, unless it is a specific one that is hot and trending. If it is not hot and trending, start off with the words coffee mug and call it a day. And put the rest of the title in there. That's descriptive enough that's going to attract people. And then make sure you have really good bullets to kind of showcase what this product either is going to do to make your life better, easier, and improve it in any kind of way. Don't overlook adding those keywords to that particular listing. And then when you add pictures, make sure that you have a few pictures of the product by itself, but also show pictures of the product in use or some example of descriptor photos. So the descriptor photo that we were looking at for the dog, toy, whatever this is, we show the pictures of the dog so that that's superimposed. That is Photoshopped. So here's one where it shows that they're putting the dog food inside the toy so that the dog will pull on it. And then you show dogs using it. So they've stuck it to the ground or stuck it to a wall, and they show it in use. Okay, and then they also have a video, again, showing it in use. So keep those types of things in mind when you are looking for products to sell. Okay, and when you are importing your photos, naming your product or putting the title on your product and using the product description. So I always use Amazon or some other site. Most of the time it's going to be Amazon to try and get the best bullets and or best descriptions. I'm not going to copy it verbatim. I'm not going to copy the title verbatim. I'm going to try and find something somewhere in the middle. So I'll edit it, I'll copy it, and then edit all the text. so that I get what I need. So I might start with content that's on AliExpress and then add in some of the additional bullets that are on Amazon and use that and then edit those bullets from Amazon. Okay. And then let's see. Do you happen to know if the Walmart affiliate link can be listed in Shopify? Yeah, so affiliate, you mean the Walmart, I don't know what you're talking about being an affiliate for Walmart and selling products, Walmart products, meaning you're not really selling them, you're just putting the affiliate link so that if somebody buys something through that link, then you get an affiliate commission. I think so. Nobody's ever asked me that question. I mean, I know people use the affiliate link all the time on Shopify for Amazon all day long. I don't know that Walmart has any restrictions. So you'd have to look at Walmart's affiliate guidelines. So you could see what Walmart's guidelines are. If they don't have any restrictions, then I would do it. I would think that you're probably okay because Walmart and Shopify have a partnership already. And so they're trying to get more eyeballs on their listings anyway. So putting a bunch of products on a Shopify store that are actually Walmart products, I mean, I would still go after a niche. So make sure you're focusing on something instead of just a generic, another Walmart store. Make sure you've niched it down to what people might be looking for. So if they're looking for something that's related to Santa hats or Santa costumes or Santa boots or whatever, or mistletoe or wreaths or something like that, then it's a full wreath store of all Walmart wreaths, and you've got your affiliate link attached to it. Something like that. So weighted blankets. Yeah, weighted blanket store, that would be a good one. Yeah. And that would be a good one to add. Make sure you incorporate stuff for like sensory, calming, that kind of stuff. Because I can tell you weighted blankets, they sell in the special needs category all day long. Okay, so then the next thing, so those are the things to think about when you're working on your title. So then the next thing that we were going to talk about was apps. So we're going to go to the App Store, and this is what I will tell you. When you are, when you're looking at Shopify apps, and there's a lot of them, there's a lot of Shopify apps to choose from. The thing that you need to keep in mind is the more apps you put on your store, sometimes the slower the retrieval of your store data or information is. You don't want to do anything that's going to slow down your store big time, but you want to make sure that you have enough apps so that people have the opportunity to buy, to be able to have a great experience on your store. So different apps do different things, and there are some apps that have more advanced features than others. So I would add no more than 5 apps, whether they're paid or free, to your store. And those apps, again, are designed to help improve the customer experience and or improve your store in some kind of way. More than 5 apps, again, is going to slow down. I mean, more than 3 really will slow down. Anything that you add to a page is going to slow it down. But again, you want to minimize the amount that it's going to slow it down. So when on last week, we looked at some themes. When we looked at themes of stores, we also saw some of the features of, like you have an app that's going to help you put some reminders that, okay, you have to have an order of no less than 35 to be able to get your shipping for free. Or you have special offers. So maybe we're having a sale or this item's on clearance. Again, apps to show some of those, to spotlight some of those products. Okay, so these are the trending apps when you first come in here. The drop shipping and shipping, we'll get into shipping, I think it's next week or the following week. But some of the apps that people are using for the holidays. So, recovery apps, if somebody has an abandoned cart, those are always important, being able to capture that either on the front end, on the back end, when you have an abandoned cart situation. So the thing that I would recommend, we have a couple of them that are free that we think that you should consider. This is not the right slide. So the Zipify, one-click upsell, and multi-currency. So the one thing I will say is that multi-currency is extremely important if your store, when you set up your store, I want to encourage you to be able to sell beyond the US. So, consider selling to other countries where they're English speaking. You can sell to other countries where it's not English speaking, but you have to make sure that you're converting that language of the listing. So for starters, we're going to start with the US. We'll start with listing items where that can be bought in Australia, listing items that can be bought in Canada, keeping it simple for you, the UK. I would start there and then expanding into other countries where you have to do more with the currency converter. I would not start off with, okay, let's do, I don't know, the Philippines right now. Just start with simple and then add to that. There's a couple more that I wanted to look at, but I think we'll probably get into the majority of them. For shipping, these are the ones for store design, for marketing, because we're going to have marketing next week and we have shipping for next week. So let's just go look at the ones for store design because we have marketing and shipping next week. So for store design, they got the free shipping bar. That was one of the ones that I talked to you about, where you have to sell over this amount or buy over this amount to get the free shipping up at the top. So you put that little bar up there. Pop-ups, email. So there were a couple of sites that we looked at where we had the pop-up saying subscribe to my site, or so get your 35% off right now, get your 20% off right now. So if you're wanting them to be able to add them to a newsletter so you can market to them later. And that is a great tactic. That's how you can get to a place where you actually can create a customer loyalty program, because you're adding them to an email list. And that way you can go market to them. You can send them coupons for 10% off or 15% off, or hey, we're having a Black Friday sale, because you've added them to a mailing list. So you can go do all kinds of cool stuff with them. So this is Layout Hub, Page Builder, email marketing. There's going to be a lot with email marketing, InstaFeed, auto currency switcher. So that's helpful if you need to, once somebody selects something and they're in like Canada, you want it to show in Canadian dollars versus US dollars. So those are great. If you have a video on the page, again, video, having an autoplay or having it be able to retrieve, that's a great option one. So what I would like for you to do for next week is I want you to come and take a look at the store. We're just going to focus on the store. We're not going to do the shipping. We're not going to do the marketing. Focus on which store specific apps that you think might be beneficial for you. Just make a note of a couple of them. And you can write down 5, and maybe there's only 2 that you'll consider adding. Because again, you want to test them. You want to make sure that they don't slow down your store significantly. And the ones that I would focus on, if you're looking down here, okay, look at the ratings for it and the number of reviews, because that's going to matter. If it only has 20 reviews or 100 reviews, it's probably not one you want to take a look at. You want something that's been used a few times. This one has over 3,000 versus this one that has 610. So I'm probably going to go and see what options what features do I get here, because it's been used over 3,000 times. It's got a rating of 4.9. It is it's got a 14-day trial. It's paid. So again, go and look at a couple of these. This one's got the Help Center. It's 1,000 reviews. This one is free as well. It's 2,300. So I'm going to go look at the ones with the higher numbers. I'm going to see if this is something that I may want to add to my store. And then once I do that, then come back and we can go and add or select some of these apps. The paid ones, just keep in mind that at the beginning, I'm going to encourage you to stick with free apps, because free apps are going to save you money since you're starting out a store. So focus on the free apps first, and then we can look at some of the paid app features. So you can come over here, choose the free apps, and just focus on those. All right. And then last but not least, so, we kind of high level covered today finding products and which tools are going to help you with importing products into your store. Some of the things you need to think about when you're creating a listing for your store. and then some of the apps. I want you to go take a look at some of the store design apps and see if there's any of them that you think might be helpful or useful in your store. And just like I said, only pick a couple. That's going to help you for next week as we build this store out, because we're going to continue to build the store so that it's ready to go by the 7th. So we're going to have, I mean, you literally could just do it all in one day if you want to just keep going on your own, but we're going to make sure that your store is ready to go so we can move on to the Black Friday, all the things you need to do to make sure you're ready for Black Friday. So let me see if you have any questions. Is Kit still working? Kit, are you talking about an app? I'm guessing you're talking about an app, maybe? You're talking about an app? Yeah. Free to install. Run your Facebook ads. That was going to be in marketing. But yeah, it says Kit's still there. It's got 4.4. Yeah, it says it's still working. So it's not shut down. So it's still there. The great thing about all of these apps is they got the little short video. Most of the videos are like a minute to a minute and a half long. They're not really long. So then that way you can see how this particular app can be helpful to you, but that's a marketing app. Okay. All right, well, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Mastery. And our next session, we're going to be going through marketing. We're going to be going through Facebook ads and Instagram ads. We're also covering, make sure, shipping. Shipping is a big deal. Shipping is a really big deal. So your assignment for this week is to go and find some products that are in your niche. You can use AliExpress as a starting point if you already have an established relationship with a provider, vendor, distributor, whichever one you happen to be working with. Ask them for some of their products or product catalog, get approval to be able to use their images. If you don't have an established one, AliExpress is always great, but then look at the ratings and use the dropshipping dashboard. And if you are, if you're interested in white labeling some products, Shopify is another option. Also, products that are in the US, consider setting up an account with them. And last but not least, print on demand. Print on demand is such an untapped opportunity. And print on demand bundled with or coupled with creating bundles is always a great opportunity. So you could, a great print on demand opportunity would be like creating shirts for the holidays for an entire family. So, you can put together on your site where you can get a family pack of 5 t-shirts. A lot of people will do like, when they have family reunions, they'll buy a bunch of shirts for the entire family. And so one shirt might say mama, one might say grandma. It'll have whatever name, family reunion. So the Joneses family reunion. And on the back of the shirt, it's got mama. On the other back of the shirt, the grandma shirt says grandma, and grandpa, all this other stuff. So you can decide what you want to do. Some people there actually put the name. So the same thing with the holiday t-shirts. They'll do something similar with the whole family thing. And the other thing about print on demand is people are getting ready to start taking their holiday photos if they decide to take them. There's a lot, we don't know what's happening with COVID-19, but people will take family photos all the time in matching pajamas, matching t-shirts, matching Christmas, Santa hats, that kind of stuff. And so they're going to start placing those orders for their shirts. And so that way, those shirts may be ready or available to them, by Christmas morning, or, right after Thanksgiving. They can hand them out at Thanksgiving. So, they may place an order with you. So if you're going to do print on demand, be thinking about all the creative ways in which you can use print on demand to make money, because it's not just t-shirts. It's not. All right. Well, this is Nicole signing off for now, and I'll talk to you guys in the next session.